here with Kevin Hemsworth, Sterling Benjamin, and Satchel Benjamin, all the way from Texas for the Algoma Thunderbird basketball show. First thing is, we're up here in Northern Ontario. You guys are down there in Texas. What's the weather like down there?
Pretty hot. It's 90 degrees right now, so
So,
yeah.
so Kev, so their 90 degrees is probably a little different than ours, eh?
Yeah, it's I've been to Texas a couple of times. It gets pretty hot down there.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
Satchel, you're used again. You're used to being. You've been in Canada, like say, for playing basketball and that, and then Sterling in North Carolina. So the weather's a little bit different. We were just talking off camera about January here, and Sault Ste. Marie's gonna be a little bit different for them, eh, Kev?
Yeah, it'll take a little bit of acclimatizing, but once you get inside, once you get in the gym's a gym, right? So
Yeah.
you guys will be okay there. It's just it's getting from your house to the gym that might be that'll take a little adjusting. I have confidence. I have faith in you guys. You can do it.
They got to put they got to put the sandals away, right, Kev?
Yeah, no, don't listen. There's some guys here that they have the flip flops all year, and you know who I'm talking about, Jay.
Yeah.
You have him on different shows from time to time. Tony Bonifero, and you'll find him. He'll be coaching football in December, early December, in a snowstorm, and he'll have flip flops on. So I don't recommend that.
So,
Bono, if you're listening, get the shoes on, man.
so Kev, I'll turn it over to you, and I'll let you grill these guys about coming up to Sault Ste. Marie for basketball.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Jay, and Satchel, Sterling. Thanks for taking the time this morning, and welcome to the Thunderbird family. Appreciate having you
Sir,
guys on.
thank you. Thank you for having us.
So let's just for the people watching, let's just make sure we know who's who, because I thought you guys might be joining on different devices, but now you guys are trying to mess us up, right? So hand up, Satchel. Satchel, okay. On screen, you're on the right. Okay. Sterling, obviously, on the left. So thanks for that, guys. And you guys are brothers, 2 years apart, is that right?
Yeah.
2 years apart. Okay. So
18 months.
18 months. All right. Well, we'll get to that later, what that relationship is like. But you guys are going to be back together next year wearing the red and white. And I see, Satchel, you already got some red and white on. So excellent. So Satchel, let's start with you. So you come to Algoma from Red Deer College, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So maybe tell me about that journey coming from Texas to Red Deer, Alberta, and then to Sault Ste. Marie. Maybe talk a little bit about that journey for you.
Well, it was hard at the beginning because it's so hot in Texas and then it's so cold in Alberta. So like when I got on the plane, it's 90 degrees in Texas, and when I get in Alberta, it's like below 10. So it was very cold. It was a fun journey. I met a lot of good people, and I decided it was a needed to change the scenery. So it's time to move.
And so how did that happen? Did you get in touch with Coach? He get in touch with you? How did you end up making the move to Algoma?
I ended up getting in touch with Coach Aaron Brown, and I was talking with him for a couple months. Then I got in with Coach ETN, and after that, then just went on from there.
Excellent. And of course, Aaron Brown played for the Thunderbirds, did he not, Jay? I got that right, don't I?
The Sault College.
Oh, Sault College. That's where I know his name. Okay. So apologies to Aaron. So Aaron kind of gave you the heads up on what Sault Ste. Marie is like, Satchel?
Yeah.
Excellent. So during your time in Red Deer, you talked about temperature. What was the game like for you out there? I just kind of quickly looked some of the stats up and things like that. But playing against SAIT and Ambrose University, St. Mary's University, what was that game like? In terms of how you would compare that to what you came from in Texas.
it was a lot different. Like in Texas, like you can't have somebody in the paint. So and there you have somebody in the paint, so it was a lot harder to score. And and I found that kind of like in a way easier. I don't really know how, but I found it kind of easier. So to
So is that
score,
just a rule difference then between the two
I
leagues?
think so because you can have somebody in the paint. So and then up there you can have somebody in the paint. So
Okay, yeah, and so for the people who don't know or watching, yeah, the rules there are many different subtle and not so subtle rule changes between the different leagues, high school to college, and then even just in different college or university leagues, the rules subtly change, and that can change things a lot for the guys on the floor and what you can and can't do, right? So
yeah, yes sir.
yeah. So, Sterling, let's move on to you. You've been quiet so far, so we'll let you talk. We won't let your big brother steal the stage. So, Sterling, you obviously came out of Texas as well, but you went a different path. You went east. So talk about that a little bit.
Um, Coming out of high school, I decided to go to attend Wake Tech University in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I went to Wake Tech, and it was an interesting experience. You know, yeah, it was a very interesting experience. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm a little, won't say I'm familiar with the Raleigh Durham area, but I've been through there a couple of times, made a pit stop there. A friend of mine lived in the area for a little while. How would you compare, would you compare North Carolina to Texas?
Well, for one, I'll probably say the weather, definitely the weather, and it was, I say the people are kind of different from North Carolina to Texas. We do a lot of things different. They call Texas backwards, and we call North Carolina backwards. So like, it's a conflict there, on like who really does something right, So yeah,
Well,
everybody really has different perspectives and stuff. So yeah.
I think we can sympathize a little bit, Sterling, being in Northern Ontario, because the people in Southern Ontario tend to be like, "Oh, what's Northern Ontario? We don't even know where that is." And we're like, "Why would you ever live in Southern Ontario? You guys are crazy." So we understand that dynamic a little bit up here. Um, so Satchel, let's get back to you. So, what are you expecting to bring to the Thunderbirds next season?
I expect him to bring very high IQ, be able to pass the ball, be able to score when needed.
How's your defense?
It's pretty good. They still need some work, but most everybody's gonna need a little bit of work.
For sure. I mean, that's one of the reasons that you keep playing ball, right? Is to learn and to get better. And
Yeah.
I know we've talked with Coach at length about that on past shows, and bringing that willingness to learn, and especially on the defensive side. If you've been watching, he preaches defense.
Yeah.
So, and I know I've talked about
yeah.
about that off air, right? That's where it starts. Starts on the defensive end of the floor. If you can shut down your opponent,
Yeah.
you can get out in transition, and makes the game a little bit easier. So, Sterling, over to you. What do you plan on bringing to the Thunderbirds next season?
I plan on bringing a lot of intensity to the court. Score around the basket when I need to, make some shots, play defense. Like if they need me to play inside, I'll play inside. They need me to go out, I'll go out. Really, just a versatile game.
Yeah, and that's something that if you've been talking to any of the guys on the team now, they've had to do as well, right? And be versatile, maybe play a position that they're not necessarily have played before or been comfortable playing, and all of a sudden that they're there, and being versatile is really important. So that's great to hear. Let's talk about your relationship a little bit. So obviously you guys went your separate ways there for a little bit. Satchel heading north and Sterling heading east. Those two places are a long way away.
Kev, they're already laughing at each other.
Yeah. So, you're going to be reunited next year. So what do you think that's going to be like?
It's gonna be fun. This is one of our dreams. Like when we were younger, we always wanted to say, "Yeah, we're gonna play together." So, we made it come true.
And Sterling?
It's gonna be real fun. I feel like it's gonna be fun because like when we go to the rec and to the Y and stuff, and we, like that's my running partner. We always run together and we always have fun. So we plan to transfer that to take that with us to Algoma and have some fun with it.
Great. That's great to hear. And so obviously, have you guys played on the same team together before?
Yes, sir.
In high school? Okay. Oh, yeah. So outside of high school. Okay. So you've had that experience before. What's the chemistry like on the court then between you two?
It's good at points.
At times.
At times it's good. At times it's good. And at times it's like this. Yeah, it's not working. It's not working.
Y'all might see us this year, this coming up year, look at each other with a crazy look, and we just like, what are you thinking? Like, come on, let's get right, So we had that little stare, and we like, okay, let's go.
So Kev, we won't bring any names in, but watching basketball last year at Algoma, we already have a few of those stares amongst players, but they're not literally biological brothers, but we do see those stares, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think you guys are gonna find that intensity fits right in. I mean, we saw it last year. We've talked about it on this show with different players, right? Getting frustrated, in the moment, and just that's a competitiveness that you have to play at this level. So totally understand. And hey, listen, I started a business with my brother and a couple other guys, and we got, the business grew and we had other people working. And I mean, there were times when I'd give him that look and he'd give me that look. And people thought there were going to be fireworks in the office. But so I understand from that perspective what that's like. So, but yeah, glad to see that you guys are excited about being back together and being competitive. So let me ask you then, Satchel being the older brother, Sterling being the younger brother, one-on-one, who's coming out on top? Satchel, I'll start with you, and why?
I'm coming out on top because I taught him some of the stuff I know. So I taught him a lot. So I think, and I know how to guard it too. So I think I'm coming out on top.
Okay, Sterling, over to you. Who's winning and why?
Personally, I'm winning because I feel like I know his weak points and how I can go by him on defense and how I where his weaknesses are. And I can explore them. So I feel like I will come out on top, and it's been proven in the past. I come out on top multiple times. So I will win. I will win.
Little Star Wars there. The student has become the master. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. he does keep me with some of the stuff. I'm like, all right, that's a good move. I'll have to take that.
Oh, that's great. And so yeah, maybe we'll have to get a little one-on-one game going next year when you guys get on campus. I think it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So how are you guys handling this whole situation with the COVID? Let's talk about the COVID lockdown first. How are you guys handling that? What's it like down there where you are, and what's going on?
It wasn't fun. My parents had it. My parents had got it, so we couldn't leave the house. We couldn't do nothing. And when coach would send us to workouts, we'd have to do it inside the house. And my mom didn't allow jumping in the house, so it was really hard trying to land softly, trying to do everything where it wouldn't disturb my parents while they're trying to rest up and get healthy again.
Yeah, and obviously that takes priority, right? I mean, that goes without saying. I was laughing because I can remember my mom saying the same thing, right? You guys want to do that stuff, get outside, right? Stop climbing over the couch.
And literally they couldn't go outside.
Yeah, and you can't go outside. So yeah, that's tough. So your parents okay now?
Yeah, so they're great. Full health now.
Okay, great. That's great to hear. So then I think we'd be a little bit remiss if we didn't talk on the show, given everything that's going on in the U.S. and now in the world. Certainly here in Canada, we're seeing protests. There was one here in Sault Ste. Marie last night. Without getting, this is a sports show, without getting too political about it, but giving you guys the freedom to speak on the issue. How you feeling about what's going on? What's happening where you are? I'll turn it over to you guys.
Me personally, I think it's good that we're protesting because there's a lot of people, a lot of ethnicities coming into one. All peoples, all colors are coming to one to support one cause, and I just feel like that's good for like everybody's coming in as a unity. Because to me, well, the way we was raised, there's no race. There's only one race, and that's the human race. And we don't see color, so I just like I like how everybody's just coming together to support one thing, and the looting part and the violence part, can't control what they do, but I like how people like doing the peaceful protest. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Satchel, I'll give you an opportunity to speak as well if you'd like.
I always believe, I always said that for for this to change, everybody has to come in as one, be united as one, and this is what's happening, and I believe change is coming. So
No, well said, and I mean, I certainly hope so. I know Jay feels the same. We've talked with Coach a little bit about it, and Sault Ste. Marie's not perfect either. Um, I think racism exists everywhere. I think we'd be lying and trying to fool ourselves if we said that it didn't. And all we can do is do our best to make sure that you know we're taking the steps towards getting rid of it and getting rid of the systemic racism that exists, because it's deeper than just how I feel about color or how you feel about color. We've all got to come together and eradicate it, right? That's for the betterment of society. So thanks guys for chiming in on that.
And Kev, sorry, if I could just bring in for a second, is
Yeah, please.
when we're talking about the OUA and youth sports, that's one thing we don't really see in Canada. And it's not against the American sports, but in the OUA and youth sports, we don't see a lot of that, do we?
No, but I think like I said, Jay, just because we don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
True.
And I want to make sure that we acknowledge that, because my voice isn't the voice that's important. I'm a white male, so because I don't see racism or I don't believe it exists, that's meaningless, right?
Yeah.
And I do believe that it exists. I do believe it's there, but what's important right now is hearing other people's voices and hearing particularly the Black community's voices. So thanks guys, I appreciate you talking about it. I'm not exactly sure where in Texas are you guys right now?
Dallas.
You're in Dallas, okay. And what's Dallas been like?
It's been different. Yeah, it's been different. Yeah.
Different meaning, has there been? I've been following it, but it's there have been protests in so many cities. It's hard to keep track of what's happening where. Have you guys have seen certainly protests in Dallas?
Yeah, there's been multiple. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, guys, we'll end the talk on that there. But thank you for your voicing, and stay safe for sure. And let's get back to the basketball. So you guys back together. Do you anticipate getting much floor time together? Have you talked to Coach about that? Sometimes brothers get on the same page and they really work in sync together. I don't know if you guys have that kind of chemistry. I've seen that before on the AU team, and I've seen it in my own sporting life. Have you guys talked about that, the opportunity to play together on the floor?
Me and Satu talked about it. Like, okay, when we get on the floor, we're gonna do this, or like, do that. We can do this. But talking to Coach about it, now, we haven't really talked to Coach about it because we feel like, we gotta earn our playing time, and if Coach sees fit for us to be on the court at the same time together, and that's when we'll start playing together.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And the coach has been honest with returning players, veterans, rookies, everything about earning that playing time. So, have you guys watched a lot of tape of OUA basketball? And if you have what would you say about the game? The thing we always hear is how fast it is. I don't know if you had this. It's different when you watch it on tape than when you're actually in the gym and on the floor. But maybe you can comment on that a little bit.
I seen that it was a lot faster from when I play at Red Deer. It was a lot. It was faster than when I played at Red Deer. So, and that's how like I seen a lot of teams doing what I ran, kind of offense I ran in Texas. It's like get up and down the court, fast pace. It's lay a fast break layup. All right, for picking up 94 feet and trying to steal the ball, get another layup. So
Yeah, so yeah, and I've certainly noticed that, you know, from watching the team over the years, that speed. And you're right, that transition game, trying to get steals, trying to get those. We'll call them easy buckets. I think we know better. They're not easy, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's easy, but
yeah, not easy.
But we call them easy buckets, right? When you work hard, get a steal at half court, and go in for the easy layup or dunk. Hey, who's got the better dunk between the two of you guys?
I do.
You guys are on the same page about that. So Sterling, if there was a dunk competition tomorrow and Satchel was in it, what dunk does he win it on?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sure. No, I was saying if there was a dunk competition and that Satchel was in, what's the dunk? If he wins it, what's the dunk he wins it on?
He said one more time. Our computer's messing up. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. No, I was just talking about his dunking prowess. If he was in a dunk competition, what is the dunk that he wins with? Which move does he have that's going to win him that competition?
I'll probably say he'll throw it off the backboard and do something with it. Probably that's what he'll do.
Off the backboard. I like it.
Yeah.
You're not dunking over a sports car or anything like that?
No, he's not Blake Griffin. Yeah, he's not that yet. But if he throws it off the backboard, he might surprise somebody with it.
Okay, listen, Coach is here. Let's get back to talking about defense. We've been talking about nothing but defense, Coach. We haven't been talking about slam dunks and dunk competitions. We're talking about defense. So, guys, you were telling me about defense, right? Hey, I'm kidding, Coach. Good to see you. We were just having a little fun, Coach.
It's good, man. It's good to see you guys smiling and everything. Sorry, guys, we had an emergency meeting. That's why I'm late. But, hey, keep doing what you guys were doing, man. I'm happy to see you guys.
Coach, you still have your job?
Yes, sir, or else I would not be on here. I would not be on here.
Well, we're happy to confirm here on the show that Coach still has his job. But in all honesty, Coach, there's, it's very troubling times for universities and colleges across North America, right? Budgets are getting cut, as students are making decisions about whether or not they're going to go to school in September or take a year off, or, how they're going to manage the situation, because we don't know what's coming, right? So maybe just, I know you probably can't give a lot of details, but, any new information out of your meeting?
For me, it was really a meeting about what we're going to do in terms of our university, kind of really seeing what we're going to do in terms of in case scenarios. One thing I know is that there's supposed to be an announcement about something from our league. So it's supposed to be happening today. And that's really what we were talking about, was really kind of how we communicate this to our students, first of all. So there's not much more that I can say about that. Really, that's what the meeting was about, just to kind of let me know what's going on a little bit with the OUA and everybody else in Canada and what they're thinking.
And so just, for people who maybe haven't seen some of the other shows, we've talked about it on the show before. So no change in plan then. League games starting after the break in January. Is that still, as far as you know, that's still the plan from the OUA?
For me, like I said in the meeting right now, there was no real details. It was just something's about to come out. Let's communicate to the kids, and I'm not even going to be communicating. It's actually going to be the administration. So to be honest with you, uh, can I really truly say exactly what the plan is going to be? No. I kind of looked on the internet and seen some stuff from Can West. So it got me a little bit, it gets me a little bit scared. But I mean, usually at Algoma, they really take care of sports. They make sure we get everything done the right way. And I'm sure that we're going to continue doing the same. Um, and then once I find out more and once I know exactly what the plan is, then I'll let everybody know.
And sorry, Kev. One thing about Can West, coach, and we talked off air before when you told me about the meeting, your meeting this morning, is thing about Can OUA is all in Ontario. Can West, the problem they have is they're working with 4 different provinces, right? So does that
Mhm.
that might make it a little bit more of an obstacle out there compared to the OUA, right?
If you look at historical things, when you talk about sporting events and stuff like that, usually the conferences they kind of align with what they want to do. So I'm expecting maybe something to align along those lines, um, but I don't know. They just told me the announcement is going to come this afternoon. So, and they wanted to reach out to all the students. So that's what's going to happen.
So Kev, I guess we can't pry too much, right?
No, no. I think coach has been instructed to keep his cards close to the vest, so we won't press
Yes,
him too much more on that. But I know that it's kind of, there are conflicting messages coming out, right? I'm seeing, I was watching the news this morning, and they were talking about Newfoundland and Labrador opening up sports and field sports in particular. And there was a mention of rugby, although they're saying without contact. I don't know how you play rugby without contact, but so you hear that, and then you hear from others that the season's not going to happen, and so I think really it's up in the air, and so you just have to prepare as if the season is going to happen and deal with it if and when that changes, right?
Really, that was the crux of the discussion. What do we do, right? And there's certain things you can do and some things you can't, and so it's really about what are we gonna do. And I know I have my plan in place, what we're gonna do. So soon we'll find out soon.
All right, and back to Satchel and Sterling then. How are you guys finding that? How is that to deal with that knowing in the back of your mind that, well, we might be training and preparing for a season that doesn't happen, or how do you deal with that mentally?
Like we've always been taught, like always gotta be prepared. Whenever it happens, it happens. So like just gotta come ready every day, just with the mental mindset of, yeah, like we have a game this week, or or the season's gonna happen. So because if you prepare like it's not gonna happen, you're not gonna work as hard, and But I feel like just come in with the mental mindset of we're having the season, we gotta get ready, we gotta win some games this year. So.
And it's very different depending on what region you're in, right? So maybe I'm not sure, in Dallas, are you able to get to any facilities and train, or are you allowed to play on outdoor courts, or what are the restrictions like there?
It's mainly outdoor. They really opened a lot of outdoors, and like they opened some gyms, but it's just not full capacity where a whole bunch of people can be in there just doing a whole bunch of stuff. So we usually go to outdoor.
Yeah. And what's your plan for the fall then? As much as anyone can make any plans right now, when are you guys planning to be on campus?
As soon as possible. As soon as possible. Sooner the better.
All right. I love the attitude, Coach. Yeah, again, I know you can't say about when these guys are going to be able to get on campus and be able to get active in the gym, but I'm sure you have other players with the same mindset that are texting you daily saying, "Coach, when can we get in the gym?"
You know what? I love their answer. As soon as possible. That's what we want. We want to be there as soon as possible. Adding those 2 recruits bigger guys, great family. They want to be in the gym. They want to be able to work and take advantage of their youth. Youth is there. They want to play this game. They love this game, and especially with Sterling and Satchel, they both want to be in the gym. That's one thing that I know. They want to be there. They want to start working, and they want to get better. And that's the message I'm sending out to everyone. As soon the first date they tell me, hey, you can be in the gym, I'll say, all right, guys, if you want to come down, that's the first date, and this is the date where I need to see everyone. And I'm pretty sure every single guy is going to be there.
And we've talked on the show before about the example of guys like Vince and Nick and getting in the gym, being in the gym. Satchel, Sterling, question: Who loves the gym more? And when I say gym, I mean who loves the weight room more? Satchel, you love the weight room more?
I like the weight room more.
That's why he's got no sleeves. Sun's out, guns out, right, Satchel? So we can expect Satchel be upstairs hitting the weights, and Sterling, you'll be on the court working on your dunks or your defense.
Defense. I was there with defense.
Good answer. All right. I think I don't have any more questions. Listen, guys, it's been great to get to know you a little bit, to meet you. Looking forward to seeing you on campus. I know Jay always has a question or two to wrap things up on, but I just want to say thanks for taking the time today, and look forward to meeting you both and welcome you to the family. Jay, I'll turn it over to you.
Coach, with you joining us, and next week we have the Jama brothers coming on the show for in next Monday. But as a coach and a coaching staff, how are you going to deal with having two sets of brothers on your roster when it comes to the clashes?
Well, you know what? I've had brothers before, and I feel like it's going to be a family thing. I know they're going to be competing against one another, and it's going to be a question of communicating with them and making sure that at the end of the day, we all family at the end of the day. So, they just got a head start, and they're going to have a head start. They're going to know one person personally well to start, but then we're all going to get to know each other at that point. So, it's going to be a big happy family.
So you weren't on camera, Coach, and they say they have this certain look when they're not happy with each other. So that's something you're going to have to catch right away so that you know what's happening, right?
Yes, sir. I'm going to have to learn all these things, about them, what makes them tick and what makes them happy, what buttons to push to get them to perform to a high level so their families are proud of them. So I'm definitely going to have to do that with these guys.
And guys, Coach has a look too. Maybe more importantly, Coach has a look too. So you guys are going to have to get to know that one.
I've heard people say that I have a look, so we'll see what that look is.
I think Coach, I'll vouch for him. I think he's more like a silent giant. Like he stands there, he has that look, and you just know what he means, right?
You know what? I think this comes from my mom, and this, the Sterling brothers got to know what I mean. When your mama be looking at you, be like, she give you that look. You don't need to say one word, but you know exactly what she meant. When we get to that point, we're a true family.
Exactly. Yeah. And Coach, you weren't on this part of the show, but we were told, the boys told us that they know how to jump softly. So they should have nice landings when, like you say, when they come down from the air. That's what they were telling us when you weren't on camera. So it's something that their mom and dad, when they were sick with COVID, they had to jump softly in the house. So it's something that when they get into the key, they should be able to do the same with the basket in their hand.
Definitely, man. It's always good to have bigger guys that can float in the air, and land softly. That's what you want.
Now, Sterling and the Satchel, something when it comes to brother rivalry, who's the one who creates the most?
That has to be me. That has to be him.
Always the little brother, right?
Always the
little brother. My brother would say the same thing about me.
No, I have two boys. It's something when it comes to being two boys. Who between the two brothers, who do you think's the mom and dad's favorite?
That's probably him.
So, Coach, that's something. That's something Sterling's gonna have to prove to you that he might be your favorite compared to Satchel, eh?
All right, guys, man. I love you both the same, man. We're starting it like this, man. I love you both the same. We're all good, you know.
That's what their parents say too, Coach.
It started the same.
Yeah.
You gotta start it the same. We'll see if the love develops more, but you know, for now, you know, we'll go with that. We love you both the same, man.
And Coach, we talked about weather with the two boys, and you got used to the Sault Ste. Marie weather this year compared to being in Montreal. What do you have to say about weather to these two when they come up from Texas?
Boys, there's levels to cold, and you know that's all I gotta say. There's levels to cold. You know, there's Texas cold, there's Montreal cold, and there's Sault Ste. Marie cold. So you know we got to be good. But you know the beautiful part about it is that the gym is always warm.
Yeah.
Kev, we got to stop talking about cold because we're going to scare the commit to decommit. This cold's
I
going to
know,
scare them
I
away.
Look, it's like it's 25 degrees outside. It's sunny. It's beautiful, guys. It's a tropical paradise here.
Exactly. And
maybe not tropical. Maybe not tropical.
But we've been here, like I say, we've been here for over 20 years, both of us, Kevin. It's something. It's not as cold as we threaten these guys with, right?
No, and you know what? Here's what I'll say, because I believe attitude is everything. And a couple of years ago, we had a player on the team from Hawaii, and I've been fortunate enough to go to Hawaii twice, and I recommend it to anyone. It's just such a beautiful place, and the weather, it's always 28 degrees, between 28 and 31 degrees, and sunny, and you get the nice breeze. Anyways, I could go on and on, but I asked him. I said, "How did you end up in Sault Ste. Marie from Hawaii? Like that's got to be, you know, a shock to the system, right?" And his attitude was just so incredible. He said, "You know, I always wanted to live somewhere where there was winter. I always want to experience snow, you know, and it's just," he's like, "I feel so blessed to be in a place that has 4 seasons and is beautiful like this." And so it comes down to attitude, I think. And, you know, yeah, it's cold, but I hope that you guys are able to get out, and Coach gives you some, you know, maybe a day off here or there. You can get out and try some of the winter activities that are so very different than the things you do in warm places. And not to say anyone's better than the other, but one thing that I like about living here is that, you know, we get to experience summer, and I have a pool in my backyard and it's warm, but you know, come wintertime, you can get out and enjoy the snow and try skiing and snowshoeing and all that great stuff too. So again, I think it comes back to attitude.
So, Coach, Kevin, I think just offered up that when the social distancing groups are bigger and the players in town, Kevin's going to host a pool party.
Hey,
I love it.
I
love it. Thank you a lot, Kevin. We appreciate it. You know, we'll bring the food for the barbecue. We open up the pool. We'll be all there. You know, ready to have some fun.
Done deal then.
Until it gets to your wife, right?
Nah, she'd be fine with it. She'd be fine with it.
Now, Satchel and Sterling, and Satchel, you mentioned to Kevin touched base on it, that you were talking to Aaron Brown. How did you end up talking to being in Red Deer and then being in Texas? How did you end up communicating with Aaron to get to know about you, Algoma?
Oh, well, I emailed him, and he emailed me right back. I think within, it was a day or so. He said, "Send me some film." So I sent him Sterling's film, some of my film, and we just went on from there.
So and Kevin touched base, but biggest thing, why did you choose to come to Algoma for this coming fall, or like say when you can come?
We chose it because we felt like it was the right place. There was other schools recruiting us. We felt that Coach, he has a good plan, and he's going to actually work with us instead of just putting us through 9 months of just scrimmaging because basketball's not all about scrimmaging. He's gonna like I feel like he's gonna make us even better than what we are. Like I believe that I'm never satisfied with myself, and I believe he's gonna put me over that hump that I have to get over to make to where I'm playing defense at a high level. I'm scoring at a high level. I'm shooting at a high level. So
And Sterling, your thoughts?
When I first talked, when I had that talk with Coach, I just felt there was this feeling that came over me, like, yo, this is the right move right here, because I felt like he had the resources and all the tools to help me become the player that I want to be. And he had said that he's a full time. We have a full time dream, but we can't have part time players, and that really hit me. I was like, okay, yeah, because we got something in common that we like to win. Like we have a goal. He's always kind of tell us, like, keep us in the loop and things and like always pushing us. And I just feel like that was the best move for us, for me personally, because I've been to schools where the coaches' mindset was not me in the vision. So, and I feel like the coach has a vision that's ready for everybody.
And Kev, it's something when it comes to OUA basketball, Algoma's still, to me, in their infancy when it comes to how long they've been in the league, and you've been involved with most of it. And with Coach only being a year into the OUA with Algoma, Satchel and Sterling, how do you guys feel about being in a program that's in the building stages of hopefully working towards a championship?
I love it because I like the rebuilding process. Like we might not win a couple games, the next thing you know, we start winning more games each year. And next thing you know, we're gonna be competing for a championship. And then I'm like, wow, I didn't see how Algoma would do this.
Me personally, I love it. Like once you're at the top, you got to start somewhere, and the best place to start, I think, the best place to start is from the bottom. Once you keep going, you just keep building, just keep building. You're gonna pull a lot more better, like good recruits in, a lot more crowds, like a lot more people in. Next thing just start building, building, building. Next thing you know, we're gonna be competing with the championship. We're gonna be up there with all the top organizations.
And Coach, your thoughts on what they had to say about the building a program?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and you can kind of tell why I like these guys. First off, I also have to give a lot of credit to Aaron Brown because we had our list of guys that we really wanted to stay in touch with, and that the Benjamin were under Aaron's Brown recruiting list. So he did a great job getting me the information from these guys and keeping in contact with these guys and keeping them going. And then I remember watching the tape and I really just went to Brown and said, listen, I know they can play. I can see that right away. I feel like we're going to be able to help them out. I want to know about their character. And Aaron just looked at me and said, Coach, these guys, I think they got what we need. So I said, hey man, it's up to you. You give me the go ahead. If you think these guys can be there, they have the character, they have everything we need, just like they just said, we'll be glad to have them come aboard and get them to be better players, better students, and overall better individuals.
And Kev, it's something. Last thing is, me and you are quite into the marketing point of view, and I guess when it comes to Sterling Satchel, I guess we can use for Agoma, like you say, the Benjamins. They're worth their net worth, right?
Jay's already working on taglines for you guys. Hey, listen. So before we get there, we haven't talked about the education piece, and I realized this a few minutes ago. I know that's important for Coach, and so I wanted to ask you guys, what do you plan to study when you get here? Satchel, let's start with you.
I plan on studying computer science. I'm very good with computers, so I was in business at Red Deer, and it was just boring. I didn't feel like I wasn't learning nothing, so then I was like, I'm gonna go to computer science. So
I won't take any offense. I won't take any offense to that, Satchel. I teach marketing, but I won't take any offense to that. You come to my class, you'll have some fun. All right. No, computer science, that's amazing. Listen, and when next time Jay has technical difficulties, we're going to send you over to the desk and see if you can help him out.
I'll pull him right off the bench.
Sterling, how about you?
I'm going in business administration. I'm gonna do more marketing than anything, but more marketing.
He's kissing up already there,
All
Kev.
right. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Don't worry, sir. We'll talk, and I won't be your teacher. I don't teach over at the U. I'm at the college, so you won't have me in class. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but no, that's great, guys. Thanks for that. Listen, I had one more question. You mentioned your parents already. You talked about them. How happy are they that you're traveling so far away to play basketball and to go to school?
Well, my dad, he's all for it. He's excited, and he's ready for us to go. He's always talking about, okay, so when we get up there, we gonna need to know where to stay, this and that. So my mom, she's excited, but she just she's like, okay, kind of far, she's a little worried, but she'll be all right.
Yeah, I think that's natural. I think moms want to keep their boys close to home. So yeah, and we can definitely help your parents out with showing them around town and making sure that they feel at home when and if they're able to get up here for a game. So that's great. Jay, go ahead.
And just Satchel and Sterling, just to let you know, Mom and Dad will be listening to Kevin's voice all winter. So Kevin will be the one, like say, doing play-by-play, joined by Mike Magley. But yeah, Kevin will be calling the game, so Mom and Dad will get used to who Kevin is. So now, Coach, last question. Go ahead.
That's okay. I hope that's okay. I hope they're not watching in the other room going, all season we got to listen to this guy. They could just mute it if they need to.
Coach, last question. And Kevin touched base on this. For these two young men, what are they bringing to the Algoma roster?
Oh yeah, I feel like Satchel's going to be able, big body. He's going to be able to play inside and out. Some of these guys, Satchel knows, the 4 or 5 in our system. He has to be versatile. If you're able to go outside, shoot a little bit outside, it's well. If you have good handles and you're able to attack the rim, you have some opportunities to do that. So we're going to be able to play to his strengths, right? Really, that's what we're looking for. Then we see Sterling as being, same thing, versatile, can shoot the 3. He's seen a little bit of our system as well. He's going to be able to shoot 3s in different areas than his brother. So we're going to be able to space the floor. And that's going to be good. It's going to be good in terms of their contribution offensively. Defensively, these guys are feisty. They're big. They love to get to the ball first. That's kind of one of the first things I kind of noticed when I watched them play. They're willing to put their body on the line, take charges. We're going to get their footwork better, but they already have the instinct of wanting to get there. So now it's having the ability to do it at this level, at this speed. So for me, when I see these two guys, I see them as contributing as soon as possible. So as soon as I feel like they're truly ready at their body, they're moving quickly and they're doing what they're supposed to, they're going to be contributing very, very soon. And you know what? Having this layoff now and having this time, I told them for them, it's the best thing that could have happened because now we're going to be around working towards the season. So it's going to be a great time for them to really kind of learn and really get better so that they might be even able to jump in right away if they get ready that quickly. So it's a great opportunity for them. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting big things from these two guys, to be honest.
And that's no pressure on you two, is it?
No, sir. Ready to come play. Ready.
And that's something, Kevin, is something, again, I'm not used to. Always we hear sir, sir, sir. So when it comes to manners, they're quite polite, eh?
Yeah, I love it. It's and quite honestly, I mean, it's a sign that you guys were raised right. When you're polite and you have manners, and I think to Coach's credit, the type of people that he's recruiting, I've just been so impressed with what I've seen so far, and today's been no exception. And I look forward to meeting you guys in person when we can do that, and having you in the community of Sault Ste. Marie. So thank you guys again.
And that's exactly it. And thank you for taking the time today. We did almost an hour, and with Coach joining us a little late because of the meeting. And Thank you again. And next week we're going to have the Jamma Brothers on. So on June 15th at 11 a.m. on Monday. So please join us. And Sterling, Satchel, Coach ATN, and Kevin, thank you very much for taking the time today to do the show.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Shout outs.